Dr. Jesse Eschbach, professor of organ, coordinator of organ studies at the University of North Texas College of Music. This program really got started in the 1920s and 1930s, and it was really in the days of Helen Hewitt, who came here in the late 1930s, when this program really began to take off and ascend. It's never stagnant, and it never was. This is not something new. It's never been a stagnant program. It's that influence of other students and learning from other students and being able to play and try out things for other students. They're going to be well surrounded here by people who are doing the same thing and are very, very professionally minded with high career aspirations.
Since we have lots of friends to perform each class, we can experience how they musically understand or how they approach their physical technique or musical abilities.
I love coming to class and hearing what people have been working on. It's a very supportive atmosphere here.
Dr. Eschbach is one of the greatest teachers who support the students a lot. He always open to give some comment and suggestion and advising. He's really enthusiastic teacher.
I need to approach every student I work with on a very, very individualistic basis.
Dr. Eschbach doesn't like to talk much before you play. I'll set up, I'll tell him what I'm gonna do. He won't interrupt me, I'll play, and then he'll come up to the console and we'll talk through some things.
You've got a good number, you've got an okay number of 8-foots going on the great and choir. And
technique and how you're touching the keyboard is very important to him, and wellness at the keyboard.
Just enough balance in the feet so that they are resting on the surface of the pedals. Most of the weight is back here on the bench. And it's only when that core technique is really settled and established and comfortable, and I emphasize that, a technique has to be comfortable. It's when those things are put into place that a person is free to explore stylistically and musically. And you feel everything connected to the fingertips on the keys, and that the arms, the hands, everything is resting on the surface of the keys. To have the technical security to go with that and introduce this element of spontaneity is everything. It's what sets off a good performance from one that is truly inspired and monumental. The organ scene in Dallas is one of the most glittering in the profession. We have world-class instruments in this immediate vicinity.
It's actually a part of our coursework is to have a church job or teaching job for a few years.
We learn to perform by doing it. So these opportunities abound, and I encourage for my students to go out and play. A student is not going to go into some kind of astronomical debt that is going to follow them around for the rest of their life. We can offer them anything here that is available anywhere else in North America.
I actually don't have any student loans at all. The internal music scholarships are a really good deal for out-of-state students because they'll allow you to pay the in-state rate in addition to giving you that scholarship. So while you might get a $1,000 scholarship, it's really more of like a $10,000 or $15,000 value.
We have the instrument that is currently in Organ Studio 253, the Organ Recital Hall, which is a small 12-stop Rieger organ, very, very neo-Baroque. The action is so honest. There's nowhere to hide. Then we had the main auditorium, and one of the reasons for constructing the main auditorium was to have a big concert organ on campus. So an organ was built by the Moeller Organ Company in 1924 and installed in that facility. And that's the organ that is still there, but quite transformed. But the other organ that really began to change the way we thought about organ instruction on this campus is the second organ in the auditorium, which is a French classical inspired organ built by Jean Bedient. And of course, here we sit in Windspear, and to my back is the organ constructed by Helmut Wolff in 2008 for this facility. Now we have an instrument where we really can do a lot of German repertory. It services the music of Bach very, very well, other German music as well, right through the 19th and into the 20th centuries.
UNT is one of the biggest schools in musical area, so we can experience a lot of good things from our friends. And this school has various organs, so we can experience a lot different organs. So I think it is a very good benefit.
Come down and audition, because you never know, you might fall in love with the place.
Organ is an amazing instrument because musically we can make different music. However, the registration is art of music.
We have worked very hard to maintain a very, very strong program at all times, and they were successful, and I'd like to think that I've continued that tradition.